Here's a question for you, Hen. Do you think it's acceptable to lick a yogurt lid in public?
I've always been a lid licker since day one, licking the lid of life. But some people think you should scoop with the spoons. But do you know what? Just be yourself. Just go for it.
Just embrace it. Innit?
Just embrace the lid and the lick.
I'm a secret lid licker. I'll always make sure the coast is clear, turn my back, and then just like a little cat.
You were saying with the banana? You don't eat the banana the conventional way in public? Are you like snapping off, eat this side?
No, I'll eat the like I'm going to town on it, but I'll just be very careful not to make eye contact with the wrong person.
Yeah, close your eyes or look down.
Yeah, or put your shades on, you sound then. Yeah. You can stare whoever you want. Sauce boy, right there.
Oh, it's good to see you, Sauce. Quiet for once.
Looking smart. Nice to see you guys Under Armour socks on mine. No change socks.
Famous white jeans.
The goats. Do you manage to get them stains off them after, or?
I think he got the stains off, but I think he ironed them with a Kinder Bueno egg again, and they're not looking too fresh. No, but unfortunately, Sauce is in the mines this week, so he's sharing spirit / pillow, so he can't be fully with us. But it's nice to have him here. But I will say, when I was trying to find his white jeans, I came across 6 pairs of white shorts.
What's up with the obsession with the white? Like,
he got more white shorts than Roger Federer. I couldn't believe it. It took me ages to find the jeans. But the famous jeans are here.
I managed to dig them out. Like, I can see what Louis Jenks means, mind. Fuck me. Let's fill the listeners in with what's been happening then. So, we did try and record a pod when Sauce was last year, but we had technical issues, didn't we?
Yeah, apologies to the listeners for that one. Bit of humming in the background, but we've since purchased new leads, so hopefully that'll rectify the issue. But then again, I will apologise that we've had a bit of a delay and a miss for the upload last Sunday, due to my fault, really.
Yeah, what happened, bud? You've been in the wars, haven't you, love you?
Oh, it hasn't been the best of weeks, I'll be honest with you. The first one was the little finger. So I broke the little finger in 3 places, and that was due to quite a new rugby drill to us. I think it was 1 attacker, so myself, against 4 defenders.
Live, full contact.
Live, full Monty, straight into it, and the little finger came out on the bottom, really. So, a bit of weight on the one finger.
Spin on that.
Oh, but it looked like he's been spinning on it. I couldn't get it back in. A few of the big boys tried squeezing it back in, but it was well and truly dislocated.
That was minging, bud.
Yeah, bit of a strange one. That was on the Thursday, and then the following session, big old poke in the eye. So I've got a bit of a black eye remained in now, but damaged cornea and a nerve spasm in the eye. So I'll be honest, it's one of the scariest injuries I've had in rugby, because I couldn't see for like a day, and I still can't fully see now. But saw the opticians today. Apparently he's coming back. It's
probably a good job you got the shades on, to be honest, because it wasn't looking too flash for a few days, was it?
Yeah, it's not too bad now. It's in that, that yellow stage, which is quite interesting to watch, like a little rainbow. But
shame you can't see it, really, isn't it?
Yeah. But it's quite scary. Quite scary losing your vision. I thought I was going to have to retire. All sorts going through my head. The first thought was obviously you won't be able to record the pod.
Yeah.
But we're getting
we were going to record it Thursday night with me, and that's exactly my thought as well. Because obviously me and you share lifts. Makes sense. We live together.
Yeah.
And Layla, the physio, come up to me in training, and she was like, because we all thought you'd been kicked in the balls.
Well, I dropped like it. Yeah.
It was pretty comical, because I asked one of the boys, I was like, we had a new hooker there, so they're throwing the ball in, and I said, oh, what's he like? Any good? He was like, oh, mate, yeah, he's shit hot. Have a look at his darts now. So he throws a ball in like that, and obviously you whatever happened to you, you got poked in the eye. And then the ball hit whoever was supposed to catch it on top of the head, and it was just like, I looked at Ty, I was like, you sure about it?
Yeah, I was front lifter, I was lifting him, and as he jumped, his finger went straight in my eye, and I could bloody taste it went that deep. So essentially he didn't have a full jump, and the ball just bounced off his head.
Straight off his head. It's a big old head, mine. I'm not surprised at it. The fucking mental Swede. But and then obviously we were due to record the pod, and I ended up in hospital with you for an hour and a half, didn't I? Yeah. Luckily it wasn't as bad as back home in the Royal Glam. I wasn't there till the following day. I wouldn't have stayed with you if that was the case.
Dude, I've seen some sights in our hospital over the years, but thankfully this one was a bit nicer.
Yeah, it wasn't all bad. And yeah, thankfully... Oh, what's it like now? Can you see properly, or is it still a bit ropey?
It's a bit ropey, so it's a bit delayed. So the cornea doesn't retract or get bigger in dark and light. So if I go into a dark room, my eyes don't adjust in time. And it's pretty sketchy, to be honest. But the optician today said I'll be right in a couple of days / a week. So got to avoid the contact for another week. Happy days.
Sounds good to me, but yeah. I've had a bad shoulder all pre-season, so I've been more than sound. I tell you what, for free. Thank fuck I didn't have to do that 4-on-1 drill.
I won't be doing that again, let me tell you.
That's fucking ridiculous, man. Contact's overrated anyway. Well, I would be moving through the lists on the shared note, James, but your phone is locked.
That was quick.
I told you to turn off the auto lock, but
I didn't even know that was a thing, but there you are.
What's your password? 2222. For all the listeners and viewers.
4474 if you need it in future. 4474. But what were we on this week? What was the topic again?
So this week's pod is going to be on habits. So we're going to do a little two-part there, because we're going to get your better half on later in the week, I believe, for part 2. And I think she's going to do a big reveal. Get your mind out to get there. She's going to... So basically, you, Saus, and I have all kind of guessed what Tash is going to say our worst habits are.
Yeah. Okay.
And then she's going to come and reveal it on Wednesday. Well, it'll be Sunday for the listeners. So that'll be exciting.
I'm sure she'll have one or two, because living with 3 blokes, and she's the only lady, I'm sure she's picked up some annoying habits off each of us.
I'll be surprised if it's single figures, to be honest. If it's if it's not in the teens, I'll be extremely surprised.
Yeah, it'd be a good variety, to be fair. I'm quite interested to see what Tash comes up with, but we'll have a think in the meantime.
Do you reckon it could result in the first ever domestic on the pod, or...?
I think it may result in some thinking post-pod and some atmos, maybe. But
frosty atmosphere, potential non-lease renewal in a couple of months' time.
Yeah, Sauce will be gone, he'd be staying on the mines. This is the only place we'll take him. But I think it may be productive. Just a bit of constructive feedback. Maybe good for us all.
Can't take it personally, can you?
Exactly.
I say this now, we'll see what happens when she comes on. But no, well, I guess we'll start with ourselves then, Jim.
Yeah.
Kick us off. Any quirky habits?
I suppose, thinking back over the years, when I was a younger man, so, well, I say boy, when I was around like 9, 10, I did have strange habits, and some of them stuck with me till I was about 14, 15. And I feel like a lot of boys go through this. They have these weird traits. So one of mine, I remember my dad used to tell me off for, and the boys used to take the piss out of. I used to make funny noises. Like, I'd just be sat there and go, like a little back of the throat, a little...
Or like you're clearing your throat, or...?
It was like a clear in the throat, but it was a bit higher. And like, I'd just be sat on the bus going,
like, when you were aware you were doing that?
I wasn't, until people would bring it up, and they'd be like, the fuck's going on here? Like, son, you sneezing, coughing, make your mind up. But then people would just take the piss out of me, then they'd walk past and they'd go, me. But I kind of grew out of it, and that luckily I got away from that one. But I remember there was a phase where I'd go everywhere walking with my hand down my pants. I think that was a bit of a thing in South Wales, or just teenage boys in general. You just kind of you stick your hand down your pants. Not that you're doing it.
Well, as a teenage boy, you spend more time with your hand down your pants than out your pants, really, isn't it?
Yeah, especially out the public. But even in public, you'd see people tucking it in their waistline, and again, not that you're doing anything in public. Boys would just go through a phase of putting their hand on their pants. And looking back now, it's disgusting.
Buzzing, like.
Yeah. But again, took feedback on board from my mother and from grandparents, just to not put your hand on your pants in public. And
especially on your grandparents, yeah.
Yeah. And then leading up to now, sort of bad habits I've got now, I quite like to take an apple on a day trip with me. So I got all my good intentions, take an apple in the packed lunch to work. He ends up staying in the bag, he comes back home, take an apple on a day trip.
What's your apple of choice?
Granny Smith, green apple. I know it's controversial because people say it's too sweet, but I got a sweet tooth. And I do like a green Granny Smith.
I like a Granny Smith as well. A good crunch to them.
Yeah, good crunch. They don't stay in your mouth. They don't go all bitty. But I feel sorry for my apples because they get bruised all the time. I just take them out, put them in the fruit bowl, and then take them back out for another day trip.
I think classically Granny Smiths, because they're a bit crunchier, they can take a bit of an hammering as well, can't they? So you must be fucking really leathering that poor bugger about in your bag.
Chucking him around on the train to work. But apart from that, I think the fact that I recently managed to tie the knot suggests I haven't got too many bad habits. Because if I had any major ones, I think Tash would have said no.
You would know about them.
Yeah, and she'd tell me. She'd tell me straight, I think. But that's all that's coming to mind at a minute. Have you? I've sort of noticed a couple of yours since living with you, but have you got any that come to mind?
Go on, then.
Well, I touched on the salt habit on the story the other day.
Yeah.
You do like salt with everything and anything. We fly through salt in this house. And I think that's due to you.
Have I told the story behind why I have so much salt, though? I don't think I've told you on the pod yet.
Not on the pod. Do you remember when you died from drowning, when you didn't drown?
Nearly drowned myself, yeah.
Without being in the water?
Without taking pingers and without being in the water, yeah.
You're going to have to explain now and now.
So it's a bit of a long story. So I played in the Touch Rugby World Cup, which, believe it or not, is an actual thing, in 2019. And for some reason, they let Malaysia host it. So we were in Kuala Lumpur. And I don't know what season it was over there. I don't know if, is it Southern Hemisphere, Malaysia?
Sort of in the middle, isn't it? But either way, I think it's always...
It's like on the fucking equator.
It's always hot or moist and
it's
not
moist.
Comfortable to play in, that's for sure.
It's like Singapore,
yeah,
to be fair. But like touch games, like we've played sevens rugby in Singapore and that's 7 minutes each way. So, and it's rolling subs, so you kind of... It's hard work, but it's over pretty quick. So touch, so lowest rolling subs as well, is 20 minutes each way. So it's 40-minute games, and you're playing 2 games a day.
I didn't know they were that long. That's quite a while, isn't it? To be
long
fair.
as fuck,
Twice a day as well.
Too long, you could say.
Full 80, aye.
So we were shite, for starters. So yeah, you're playing against all these... I was in the men's open category, so it's fast as fuck. You're playing against all these mega skillful teams with loads of gas. And it's 35 degrees, 100% humidity. And we just weren't prepared for it. Like the physios we had great physios, and they kind of briefed us that, you know, you should be doing sauna therapy and start, you know, taking your hydration seriously and stuff. And I thought, I drink loads of water, I'll be sound, like, and I'm pretty fit. But how wrong could you be? And I remember probably the second day of the comp, we had this big, like, massive air conditioned gazebo that we'd go to after games, and it was unreal. Like, you go in and it's like walking into a fridge. So, finished the games for the day, came in, and it was like, I was fine, sat down, just chilling out. And then a few of the boys that had funny turns, like, you know, you borderline like heat stroke. I remember one of the boys fitting on the side of the pitch because he was like overheating.
Christ.
And a few of them were struggling with the heat, and yeah, a couple of them in a mess, like, and lying on the floor with ice packs on the back of their head, and lying we had like an ice bath, sort of sitting in there. But I was just sitting there chilling, and I could feel myself like starting to get a bit spaced out. And I remember saying to one of the boys, so he was sat where you are, but there, I remember saying to him, I was like, Jim, is the yoga mat still on the floor down here, but? And he looked down, he went, yeah. I just went, tidy. And I just went, I just remember just like, I knew what I was doing, but I was like, I need to lie down. So I just, you know, fastest way there is just to fucking headbutt the fucker. So I was lying there, and obviously they called the physios over, and
what are you lying for?
Why are you lying for? That's what they said. They said, why are you lying for? I said, I don't know, mate, I'm fucked. So the point I knew I was fucked is when they stripped me off, not fully. They left took everything off, bar my undershorts.
That's good of them, yeah.
Yeah, a bit of dignity,
bit
like
of decorum, yeah.
And well, they couldn't get my pink boots off for start as well. They were too tight, so they had a bit of problem.
Of course, they were pink as well.
Yeah, my pink ice skates. But I knew I was fucked when they covered me in ice, and I just didn't flinch. Like, I remember they gave me this massive bag of ice, so they put ice everywhere, like, you know, under your balls, because one of the areas is best to cool you.
Okay.
So on your balls, back your head, someone else holding on the top of my head, and then I'm just hugging this fucking massive bag, and I was just like spooning it. And I just remember thinking, oh, this is so nice.
Yeah.
And time went on, and I thought I was starting to feel better. So like I was probably lying there for 10 minutes. So I was like, yeah, I'm sound. So they sat me with my feet in the ice bath, and then I was like, I need a piss. So they were like, well, can you get up and go and have one? I was like, nah, can't move. So they cut the lid off a 1.5 litre Coke bottle, and I peed in that, and I literally filled it. Like, I think they had to get another bottle for me to finish off, and it was crystal clear. So like, obviously I drank fucking loads of water, so it wasn't the fact that I had no fluids.
So you had too much water in it.
Much water, yeah.
You're just constantly drinking.
And I've been drinking like Pocari Sweats or whatever the equivalent of Gatorade is over there, and you just think that's enough. I wasn't as well researched as I am now post incident, but yeah, just fill this bottle with clear piss. That's another like red flag. I was like, fuck us. Show me like I was expecting to be like fucking this coconut water, but brown as fuck. But they were like, oh, we'll take you to the medical tent, and I literally couldn't walk. But it was like I was blotto. I had 2 people carrying me. Felt sick as fuck. And then they put me straight in a drip. He like he checked me with a stethoscope, I think, and he was like, oh, you're dry as fuck, bro. It's like, you're telling me, brother.
Dry as fuck, even though you've been drinking. That just makes no sense.
I know. But yeah, on a drip. And I remember him asking me, can you sit up? And I was like, nah, I can't. Like, so the guy, I remember the guy saying, I think you should go to hospital. And I remember just lying there thinking, I'm going to fuck at this stage. Normally you'd panic when you were just like, okay, I'm quite comfy, but you can feel the drip working, and it's just like, you ever had a drip?
No, I don't think I have, actually. I've had stuff like doing operations and stuff, but not a drip in that situation.
It's nice, like you can kind of feel it working its way around you.
They say that when people go to Bali, don't they? And they have these people coming around the houses and the apartments to connect into a drip. It sorts you right out.
I think you're still shitting through the eye of a needle, but yeah, you feel a bit better, like. But yeah, so they said, oh, we'll phone an ambulance. So yeah, I got blue lighted to hospital. I just remember there's a minging photo of me in the back of the ambulance as well. Just remember staring at the ceiling like I was fucking getting chucked about in the back of this ambulance. I was thinking, fuck. And then I remember coming round in this wild A&E. I was just fucking kids screaming, loud as fuck. I was kind of, I say slipping in and out of consciousness. I think I was just falling asleep. So I'd like wake up. My head was pounding. I remember there was a 3-year-old on the bed next to me. And I just went, shut the fuck up. I got a fucking banging headache. And the physios were like, Rhys, you can't say that. And I was like, who are you? Didn't know who they were. And then I'd like go to sleep, wake up. She'd be like, do you know where we are? I'm like, nah. Do you know who you are? Rhys. And then, yeah, long story short. Well, long story long. I remember coming round the next morning on this hospital ward on a drip again. I was just like, the fuck is going on here? I was just surrounded by a few Asian blokes. Didn't know what was happening, but luckily, big shout out to Ian Davis. He sat by my side all the way through it. I think he was probably just pissing himself laughing and taking photos and videos. But yeah, he was just like, oh, they had to keep you in overnight, but. And yeah, it turns out I had hyponatremia. So all it was, I'd sweated a lot because it was so hot. Lost a lot of sodium, which is salt. And then because I drank so much water, I think what sodium, is it like facilitates fluid leaving your cells. So I think like the fluid could get into my cells, but then it couldn't get out.
Right.
Because I didn't have salt. So I might be talking out my arse there, but I think that's what it is.
What was the next steps then? Could you, if you carried on drinking?
Well, your cells like swell. And then they can burst. So I think this is what happens with, classically it's when people take ecstasy.
Oh, okay.
That's why they, you sweat your tits off, you drink too much water, and then your fucking cells burst, really. So
I didn't know all this. It's quite educational. And did you play again?
Yeah, I played the next day, but no, I think I had that day off, but we were lucky because it was like we were due to play New Zealand, and they cancelled it because it was too hot. The pitch side temperature was 52 degrees. So obviously the the floor is hotter than the actual atmosphere. But because the pitch temperature wasn't allowed to go above a certain point, I don't know what it was, but yeah, 52 is obviously a bit excessive.
Christ.
So luckily they cancelled that because we lost about 700-0, I think.
They're pretty sharp, aren't they?
Oh, unbelievable.
I remember pitches back home, 3G pitches getting hot in the summer and your feet are burning, but not, especially that hot on a grass pitch.
Yeah.
And was there any other boys from any other countries dying like yourself, or just Welsh that were
I think my claim to fame is I think I was the only one to go to hospital, but the medical tent was just full of British, so it was like Welsh, Scottish, Irish. I know Irish isn't British, get off my fucking case. Irish and English boys on drips.
Right.
I remember my mate Shane, who was playing for England, being in there. He said, "Oh, Rhys boy, yeah, Shane boy, what's happening, man?" And yeah, we just weren't built for it. Like,
no, hopefully the next tournament, or if they're still doing it in a more fair country that's not as hot.
Well, then there's one coming up in New Zealand, but so if you fancy getting your touch boots out,
Wales
30s would be carving up.
We'll be there now. Christ.
But no, I wouldn't recommend that. So that's why I've become more vigilant about my salt intake.
Having salt all day, every day. But
I'm not being funny. Salt makes everything better.
Oh, it does. I'm partial to putting the cook in when I do cook once every month, and you can't go wrong with a bit of salt.
What's that on the beans on toast? Is it
scrambled egg? Actually, I've sussed that one. But apart from that, your habits aren't too bad, to be honest. But I think
I don't know though. You're just being nice better now, aren't you?
You and Saus are both partial to leaving your shoes everywhere.
I'm not as bad as him.
You're not as bad as Saus, but it's become my daily routine. I come in, I put the shoes in the shoe cupboard, and then I crack on with my day.
Yeah, no, we're a shoes off house, aren't we? Which I really respect, by the way.
Yeah.
I think people who walk around the house with their shoes on are fucking scumbags.
Oh, when you see people have shoes on the sofa as well, I'm like, what's going on
bed,
there?
But some people go on their bed with their shoes on.
Oh, I just can't even imagine a world where that's acceptable.
Howling.
But yeah, shoes in the shoe cupboard. That shoe cupboard's now full. More shoes in shoe zone. But again, it's part
all
of my
sauces.
Yeah, all sauces.
No, I'll interject there.
Go on in.
Because obviously shoes come off by the front door. Sometimes I will leave them there for a bit. But I like to think I do put them away most of the time.
Yeah, you do. You do, to be fair.
But I come in the other day, was chuck Sauce under the bus. He's not even here to defend himself, love him. But, sticky. But I come in the other day and I cooked food and went to sit down on the dining table. Fucking couldn't pull the chair out like that. There's a pair of his on-running shoes under the dining table. Hey, come on, bud, you're better than that.
He does like leaving a trail of stuff, doesn't he? Like little breadcrumbs. A bag here, a pack of chewing gums here, glasses there.
Oh, he was kicking off for his glasses the other day. Someone had put his glasses upstairs or on the stairs. Oh, we got a fucking 8x6 dining table there and I'm not allowed to leave my glasses on it. The thing is, if we all left our glasses on it, Sauce, it would be a shithole.
I like that. That's a good point.
Yeah. Different rules for me, mind.
Yeah, of course. And then you do like listening. I don't mind it, to be fair, because you've got a good music choice, but you can't seem to do anything without blasting the music, whether it's 11 o'clock at night or 7 in the morning. And it's good music. If it was bad music, then I'd be saying something. But you do absolutely love the music blasting.
I can't do anything. Any like household task I can't do without music.
Yeah. You haven't got headphones now?
Yeah, I have, but then how's everyone else going to listen? How's Mary going to sing along to John Mayer? Like,
she did text me actually. She's like, that's a good one, turn it up.
Fucking tune, man. To rip a knob off, Rhys boy. Nah, from showering. But I can't, but like if it's like, you know, like a task like empty the dishwasher, which we don't know about in this place because we've been living here for 6 months and it still doesn't work.
Still don't work.
But if you're watching,
cheers, Gary.
But if I was to empty the dishwasher, I'd need music to get through that.
Yeah.
Or if I, washing dishes by hand, I need some in, like.
I do get it. It does make the activity more enjoyable because no one likes doing house chores. So if you've got a bit of John Mayer going, can't fault it. I can't fault it. And then the last one that comes to mind is your toasting habit. You like putting toast in a toaster and then you leave for 40 minutes The toast is still in there and it's gone cold and hard. I don't understand how. Obviously, it doesn't affect me. I still go to bed comfortable at night. But I don't understand what you're doing to that toaster, poor bugger.
Toast. See, the more I talk about my toast habit, the more of a tism it seems. And I don't know, but like, so if I'm just having a piece of toast with butter, to be fair, I will let it cool off a little bit. But I will butter it quite early doors to let the butter seep in.
Right.
But my biggest gripe with toast, if you take it straight out the toaster, put it on your plate, it's going to sweat.
A bit of moisture underneath.
Sweat.
I see what you mean.
Who wants sweaty toast? Not me.
Nothing worse than sweaty toast, to be fair, when it goes floppy.
Floppy. Loses its integrity.
Yeah.
Don't wanna. So, how do you have your toast anyway? You like medium well?
Yeah, I don't like it black. I don't like it too hard. I like it medium. bit of half and half.
Christ, no further questions, Your Honour.
Not too far gone, you know. But I put the butter on straight away. There's nothing better than a bit of warm toast. Nice bit of Lure pack, no pack, damn pack, anyone. It's all spot on in there. Partially because of the salt content. But yeah, straight in. I don't hang about like you. Right.
But this is where, you know, it's circumstantial. Because generally, if I'm cooking toast, it's for beans on toast. Now, I used to be even weirder when I was a kid. I say a kid, about fucking 22. But I used to arrange the toast around the outside of the plate and then put the beans in the middle so the toast wouldn't go floppy. But, yeah.
That's a bit of texture. Yeah.
For some reason. So I like my toast to cool, so it's nice and crispy. Doesn't flop. There's nothing worse than a floppy one, I'll tell you that for free. Put the butter on, and then the butter doesn't melt in the same way, so it acts as a bit of a barrier for the toast.
Okay.
But the other thing is I put cheese on, right? And this is controversial as well. And I know it's weird, but I put the cheese on before the beans.
Again, that makes no sense. Because isn't it nicer to have the cheese melted on top?
Yeah, but the cheese will melt underneath.
That's true, and I guess you don't get the stringy bits then when it's underneath because it's hidden.
I think it could change your life, but this could be as big as pineapple on your chicken. Could be. Because you think, so that cheese is acting as a little barrier for the toast again. So, again, it's more impenetrable for the beans.
Yeah, okay.
So, less chance of floppage. Cheese will melt, especially if you put it on the bread, the toast, sooner than I do.
Yeah.
And it will protect the integrity of the toast as well at the same time.
I do like that. I will give that a go. And that's similar to, it reminds me of one of the boys back home, when we used to go for an Indian, he'd put the naan bread down, then the rice, then the curry, all on top of the naan bread. So that it all soaks into the naan bread. So
nice.
It's
that's kind of the opposite.
The opposite.
Of what I would do.
Yeah, same. What most people would do.
My naan bread would be freezing.
But it's all like infusing. So there you are. Next time you're having beans on toast or an Indian, try something different.
I'd be keen to try that with an Indian.
It's tidier. And you can cut it with a knife and fork at the end. It's kind of like a dessert.
I like that. I haven't found a good Indian over here yet. Those who listeners, viewers, if you've got any suggestions, let us know.
Yeah, God, when we went back home, that was first on my list. The British Indian, the British Chinese.
Do you go Zira?
Aye, Zira and Clean. Oh, there's one in Church Village as well.
Yeah, it's a proper sit-down one up there as well.
Yeah, that was decent. And then I had a nice Chinese then with Morgan and Alid down Alid's house down from Llanarran. Can't beat a good British Chinese.
British Chinese, British Indian. Unrivaled. Yeah. I mean, I haven't been to China or India to back that up. But
I've been to China. They're not bad in China, but again, it's not quite the British way.
Yeah. One thing Indians and Chinese can't do, though, is chips.
Oh, yeah. Don't even bother ordering them. Don't even bother.
As my good friend Adam Cord, friend of the pod, would say, it's a waste of plate space. There's so many better things you could be having than chips in the Chinese or Indian. Yeah,
that's so true, because I remember going to an all-you-can-eat buffet and I watched some YouTube videos on how to attack it, or how best to approach an all-you-can-eat buffet.
Fuck me as commitment.
And they said avoid your bread, your chips and your rice. So again, a bit of educational for you if you're going for a buffet. Avoid the heavy carbs, the brown stuff.
Love that. Yeah. You right there, Saus? This is actually a limited edition white Arsenal jersey. He's just fucking spilled ketchup all over it, that's all. Oh, I got some other weird habits, but
Of course you have.
and I'll say a few of them because Tash will probably call me out for them after. I think one of the ones that's really, it's giving me anxiety, honestly. But like, as a rugby boy, you play a lot of drinking games, so they're pretty hot on it out here as well, but they're nowhere near as hot as they are back home. On like the classic left-hand drinking.
Oh yeah.
If someone we say bowling in. So if I was to pass you an object and you don't say not out, you got to drink your drink. And like most people play, if they pass you your drink and like it's got to be open and like there's all these stipulations, you don't say not out, you're drinking. But like we've taken it to the extreme. So like I could give you, if we've bowled in, I could give you your phone there. And if you don't say not out, you'd be drinking your drink as a punishment. So like, yeah,
I've noticed it, but first of all, you're on your own there because no one else understands the game you're playing. Because
I know,
I'm sure the boys who you started out with are on the other side of the world, so we don't get it as much. But I remember in the past I have literally chucked you like your keys or whatever, and you're not out, and I'm just like, there's nothing to drink, there's nothing to look at, and then you do sometimes the old flick of the head back and stuff.
the old danger swig. Yeah,
You're finishing a cup of tea, like.
I know, it's just ingrained in me. I've done it on the pod a few times as well. R.I.P. Johnny Danger, absolute legend. But yeah, so I say not out when people give me stuff, and then I've got to drink with my left hand.
Yeah, you're
which
quite good at that.
I'm getting better at not doing, because I think I was drinking my coconut water with my right hand for a bit there.
That's where you sat in it.
Yeah, it's the angle, Kurt angle. But like, I would literally, if I'm drinking a cup of tea or coffee, I'll switch hands to drink it with my left hand.
That's a strange habit that you've sort of become OCD there, haven't you? You're stuck with that one now.
It is. It's a borderline a problem, and I know I do people's heads in with it as well. When we're actually playing those rules, I don't miss a trick. Like anyone who's drinking with their right hand or doesn't say not out, they're having it. Like,
yeah, you've warmed up. You've got your practice in, haven't you? You've done your prep.
24/7. Yeah,
yeah, you've done your
never off.
Never off.
Saying not out in my sleep, like.
One day someone will catch you out, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, someone did. It was about a year and a half ago. I think it was Connor, another friend of the pod. He got me on a not out, but it was like we weren't playing anything. He gave me like my keys or something. I didn't say said not out, and it just really fucking scarred me. So yeah, hasn't happened since. Oh, do you know one thing I do as well? So big shout out to those who turned up to the inaugural Sundee stroll. When's this episode going out? Last weekend.
Yeah, last weekend.
So it was, massive turnout. But yeah, when I go for a stroll, I have got to walk in like a loop.
Right, you'll have to explain that one because that just sounds inconvenient.
Well, no, I mean like, so I don't just walk around in a big circle, like, but I've got to like, I can't be walking down a path and then stop on a dime, turn around and go back.
Oh, you won't backtrack, you won't go on the same path.
No, I can.
Right.
Because especially out here, they encourage you to keep to the left, and all the paths are marked.
Yeah.
So you keep left. It's like, to me, it's like kind of turning around, and then you're on the opposite side of the road going back, so that's fine. But like, it won't, like I'd have to like walk around a tree or something, or, you know, ideally it would be, right, if we're walking to the foreshore from here, say, one way,
yeah,
we're coming back a different way. We're not coming back the way we came.
Right, okay. So I don't understand the science behind that one, or the brain, why are you doing that, but
there's no science behind that, but that's just fucking, that's another tism, innit? It's undefendable.
Yeah, I can't get my head around that one. I mean, I don't like walking back myself. You want a different view, bit of variety. But if I got to turn around, I'm turning around. Like, I'm not.
Oh, don't get me wrong. Like, if it was an emergency, I wouldn't extend my walk just to finish the loop. I'd be like, yeah, it is what it is. We'll deal with the consequences after. But my preference is, it's just more satisfying to close the loop, you know, rather than leave it
achievement,
kind of open.
Yeah.
And I'm always drawing like I don't share my walks on Strava or anything, but I'm just thinking in my head like, that's gonna look better if it's a full loop in it. Oh, this has got to be you, but on this list, picking up toilet paper.
Oh yeah, forgot about that one. So it's become a bit of an OCD thing. It's actually really annoying to me. So in work, I like to keep my work area clean and tidy. And if you go to the toilets and you see toilet roll on the floor, like it's a bit messy in there, I've picked up this habit, pun intended, where I've got to pick up the toilet roll and tidy the bathroom, then the toilet. And sometimes I've picked up stuff and it's been a bit wet, and I'm thinking, what
hang on now. Like, what if you're noticing is clearly a big old shit stain on it? Are you clearing that up, or?
Thankfully, I haven't come across a shit stained one, but there's been wet ones. There's been ones on the floor or to the side of the bin, and I just think if I do good, I'll receive good. So I'm picking up this paper off the floor, and there's been occasions where I've left the toilet and I thought, nah, I gotta go pick it up. I've turned around and gone to pick it up, and it's slowly growing. It's becoming bad. It's good for the cleaners in work because I'm doing their job for them. But then for me, I've got to go wash my hands again then. And then I am bloody well, may as well just stay in there. Like, no Omani, no Punani guy. May as well stay in the toilet all day, get no work done. But I'm yet to receive the good. Because since I've started that bad habit, I've broken a finger and had a finger in the eye. But hopefully...
Perhaps it's telling you something.
Yeah.
Stop fucking picking up toilet paper off the floor.
But I'm hoping I stop that one because it's wasting my time. And it's probably not very hygienic.
Mm. Yeah, that's a strange one. Like, you got the cheek to say that I'm strange for fucking buttering my toast weird and walking in a loop, but that's on a different level. Sorry, but
yeah, I don't go looking for it. It's just if it's in my way and it's spoiling my work environment, I don't want it dirty, I like a clean place.
Fair enough, you're doing good. That's, surely you do some good karma at some point, you'd like to think.
Yeah, hopefully.
Fuck knows when. One thing I have noticed with you, Jim, is I know this place where we live now is a bit like Fort Knox, and so there's bars on the windows, there's fucking gates leading to other gates, doors leading to doors.
I'd love to know why. I'd love to know if this used to be a drug cartel house or...
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it?
With all the security, but yeah, go on.
Yeah, I've noticed you're not a massive fan of shutting doors, are you?
Well, the outside doors, like the main ones.
Doors.
Because I just don't think it needs to be locked. Because you've got the bars in the way. The garage I do like to leave up sometimes because I like the light it brings, because it's quite a dark house otherwise. So it adds a bit of...
See, I'm just thinking the car's going to be fucking boiling my eyes, leaving all the heat in through that garage. There's no aircon in the shitmobile. I'm going to be sweating my tits off on the way to work.
Yeah, your car is boiling either way, son.
Susan. I know, it's shocking, isn't it? But it could be saving a degree or two there.
I didn't actually think of it from a temperature point. I just thought from a daylight. And I also think the garage door's on his last legs.
Do you reckon?
And Kerry can't even fix a dishwasher, let alone a garage opener. So
we're on rations on a garage door now.
Well, we've already had Marshy come round with his nuts and bolts and his spanners and tapped it back in. Mm. So I am waiting for that thing to go shaboing. But I mean, I'll keep that in mind, leaving the doors open.
To be fair, but no one's going to nick my golf clubs because they'll come in and they'll realise half of them are fucking snapped. So that's not a concern. And no one's going to nick the car.
Exactly. They probably feel sorry for you and leave it here.
They'd bring it back, yeah.
They'd wash it for you and leave it. But I'll take that on board, thank you.
But no, again, I don't know if it's just a bit of a tism with me, but if I'm going to bed, say, I can't... So all the doors in Australia, you've got a fly door and then a normal door new because there's fucking flies and shit everywhere.
Yeah.
But I can't if I've noticed you've locked, you probably haven't locked it. Let's be honest. You shut the patio door, but then the fly door's just wide open. I'm like, oh fucking, I have to go and shut that now.
Well, you shut them both.
I shut it and I lock it. Yeah, I just got to
But they can't get there though. Do you know what I mean?
But how do you know?
Well, unless they're spider.
And also, there's been about fucking 28 cockroaches in here, so I'm not taking my chances. I'm double barriering.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that, but I do appreciate you locking the front door because it means I'm extra safe. Me and Tash can sleep well at night.
Yeah, you'd be the first ones to get fucking attacked as well downstairs.
Yeah, sleeping downstairs
with your earplugs in and your fucking sunglasses on and whatever else.
We gotta sleep with your earplugs on because you're playing fucking music till 11 o'clock. And don't get me started on Saus. He's watching Arsenal play at 3 in.the morning. Shouting Thierry Henry's still playing and doing a bit. Yeah. And then when he comes in on a night out, Christ, he comes in like Susan Boyle singing his head off.
Oh, what did he come in singing the other week? oh, Arthur, no. Oh, what? And then he kind of realised where he was and just, trailed off. It's like, fucking shut up. But he struggles, and like sometimes I hear him out here. It might be Sunday morning, so you've had a late night on the Saturday. It's fucking 9 o'clock, and he's on a blower to someone, full volume.
Yeah. Oh, he's done the other day. Where our bedroom is where the washing area is, and he was doing a voice note whilst doing the washing, and I'm like, I don't want to know your full story, but it's 8 in the morning. I want to sleep.
Who's he sending that to?
Sound like you're from London. Because he comes home from the mines, and fair play, I know it's like you're getting up at 3, 4 o'clock. So when your first few days back in the city, you're waking up at like 4 or 5 in the morning, and he just wants to spread the love and make sure we're all awake with him.
Yeah, he does a good job of it. To be fair, yeah, it's fucking, it's definitely give and take with me and him. Because I remember him saying to me before in our old gaff, I'd be like getting up for work and making my breakfast and whatever. He come out. I didn't realise the door slamming world championships had started today. Sorry, Bath.
Yeah, that sounds like a Saus comment. You got some good one.
Oh, he's fucking brilliant, isn't he? I miss him. Do you miss him?
I do. Like, it's good to have him back. It adds a bit of spice to the house, doesn't it, for that week?
Yeah. He's always got a story, hasn't he? Every time, like.
I don't understand how you have a story, because you're going to prison. And for him to come back with stories after being in prison for 2 weeks.
You know you're in for a treat, because he'll go, do you want to have a laugh?
Yeah.
Yeah, go on. What have you done now? But no, he'd be back for, well, not the next one, he'd be back for the one after that, won't he? But we got some great stuff in the pipeline. Yeah. I think he'll feature in the Tash special as well, part 2 of this, because it's only fair that we give him a say, so yeah, we'll get him to send in a little...
Yeah, I think he's going to send some voice notes in to back up his side, isn't it? His side of the argument. But he'll definitely feature once or 12 times.
Heavily.
Yeah.
Heavily. Do you know, one thing, I don't know why I've never said anything about this, but I just, like, it's kind of become a habit. I just go and rectify it. I'd rather just be passive aggressive and talk about it behind his back when he's not here. But no, he'll have a shower. To be fair, most of the time he leaves a mat on the floor, which is part of the course. So I'll go in and hang it up. But sometimes he'll hang it up, and this reminds me of another habit as well that I've got to talk about. But anyway, he'll hang it up, but he'll like fold the mat over into like 4.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but he's not drying himself in the shower either. He's getting straight out, fucking soaking wet mat, fold it into 4 and put it over the door. So that's just not going to dry, is it? No way on earth. Not a snowball's chance in fucking hell is that going to dry.
No, the water's just bouncing in between the feathers there. It's not going to leave the mat, is it?
Nah.
But does he get dry in the shower? Surely he's sussed that life hack.
No, but this is what I'm going to talk about, because this is a massive gripe of mine. And it was on my player profile as well. And I think, again, friend of the pod, Courtney, has written in, we'll cover the questions in the next episode, but I think he's said about this. How you get to this stage in life without drying yourself in the shower, I don't understand.
So he gets out and dries, does he?
I think because I've said to him enough times, I think he has a bit of a go. How am I supposed to dry myself in the shower? It's tiny. I'm like, Sauce, I'm the same size as you. Like,
yeah,
you're not 140 clicks anymore. You can't use that as an excuse. But he's pretty good compared to some people I know. I remember I roomed with one of the boys before, and he didn't even put his towel, didn't even drape it over the shower. It's like, shower, stop the shower, get out of the shower, walk across the bathroom to get a towel, flood the entire fucking hotel room in the process. And how's that normal? Like?
It's not. It's giving Final Destination vibes, that sort of thing. But I remember my old man telling me this, because back home it'd be cold in the winter and it'd still be quite warm in the shower. So you'd dry in the shower when it's nice and warm. But then I realised, avoiding the Final Destinations, you don't get a wet floor. You get out, you've only got to dry your feet, so the rug doesn't get as wet.
Yeah.
You're just saving yourself time in the long run. So again, dry yourself in the shower, top tip of the day, really.
100%. Or at least get the worst of the water off now. Just have a little once over, then get out, finish the job.
Yeah.
Fuck me. I feel myself getting angry thinking about it. Just let it be. That's why I had this tattoo, just so I can do a...
Every time Saus does something, you just stare at the wrist, is it? Just
as I'm unfolding the shower mat, just Just let it be. But I could have said something to him, to be fair, but he probably wouldn't fucking listen. So
No, he's learning. He's learning.
But no, any more on the list? I can't see because your phone's died.
Oh, he's done it again, is he?
Not another one.
No, but I think that's, as far as I'm aware, we did start when we first moved in here. So water in Australia coming out of the taps is never cold, is it? It's a pain in the arse. It comes out lukewarm. So we bought these jugs from IKEA. So you fill your jugs up with water, and then you've got cold water in the fridge. And then you boys are good at it now, but what you started doing was you'd empty the jugs, you'd fill up your bottles or whatever. You're getting angry now.
Don't give me this.
And then you wouldn't fill the bottles back up. You'd put like a 1/3 of a bottle back in the fridge.
See, but I don't see that being a problem.
Because then I haven't got a full bottle of cold water. Then I've got
no problem,
a third.
But nah. So my argument is right. So we've got 4. They're not. The bottle's really nice. They've got a stopper in the top. Yeah, show the
viewers,
listeners.
They're a litre bottle.
Can't show the listeners. So yeah, litre bottle, right. So you got the biggest Yeti. You got your Yeti there with you?
He's downstairs. He's
got 9 litres. A fucking barrel. So you're taking all the cold water as it is, like the rest of us are fucked. But you fill that up. So like, my thing is, as long as there's a glass full left going back in, that's sound. Unless it's like, lasting a night. So I know you've got to fill the barrel up in the morning, so I'll make sure it's topped up. But I would quite comfortably, like you said, if there's a third of the bottle left, that's a glass of water for someone.
It's
a
not
cold glass of water.
I've seen your Yeti bottle as well. That little glass isn't going to touch the size on your Yeti bottle, so surely you're going to want more.
Yeah, but I just drink out of a glass in the day. I'm not a sponsored athlete like you. I don't have to drink out my Yeti 24/7. But you got a Yeti tattoo, I'm new, I think.
They sponsored a pod, man.
Oh, I wish they did.
But
they gave me a new lid because mine's fucked at the moment.
But it did used to scald me at the start, going into the fridge, and I didn't have a full bottle of cold water, just an empty jug. Yeah,
we get a passive aggressive WhatsApp when it wouldn't be. And we always do that to each other, don't we? Fucking bit of banter on the WhatsApp.
It's the best way to do it, so you can be honest, really.
Yeah.
You say in a polite, passive, true way. And
sarcastic way.
Yeah, it gets the point across, typical British fashion.
Fucking right.
But we've learned and we've moved on, but I think...
I think we leave that open to the listeners and viewers. Do you think that's acceptable behaviour? So, like, I would leave a glass full, because otherwise, right, the next person to use our bottle, if I was to fill it up every time I used it, the water's not going to be cold.
It'd be colder than what's coming out of the tap, mind.
Yeah, but that's not the point, is it?
True, and now we have got another 3 that can combat that.
Yeah.
One. But yeah, ask the listeners. I mean, if you've got it's like a filtered jug of water in the fridge, for example, is back home, and you use it, and you don't fill it back up.
That's unacceptable.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But I think we've covered some good habits for part 1 there, to be fair.
I think that's about us, yeah. Otherwise we'll have fuck all to talk about in the next one. Well, I'm sure Tash has got plenty for us, I'm sure.
Yeah, so what's the crack for the listeners then? So we've got part 2 of habits coming out.
Yep.
Tash is going to come on, going to rinse us, and we're also going to answer or debate some of the listeners' habits, which you kindly commented. We've got some good ones, I think.
We got some crackers on it, yeah. A couple of questions for us as well. And yeah, it should be pretty good. We'll have Saus's little feature as well, so he can defend himself.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what he comes up with, and I hope he throws some shots against us as well, because I think we've gone at him tonight.
He 100% will.
So he needs to throw his toys at the pram and let's go for it, you know?
Yeah. Or he needs to remember I'm edited it anyway, so if he's too harsh, I'll just fucking delete this, fine. Other than that, but yeah, I think that's us for part 1, isn't it?
Yeah, it's been alright, that have.
Yeah. Sorry it's not a full episode, sorry it's late.
Sorry it's not on a Sunday and there's no coffees involved.
Nah. But I would recommend, if you haven't tried chocolate coconut water, you've got to try it. If you haven't followed us on Instagram, it's at Sundee Coffee Club. On TikTok, it's at I can't speak. On TikTok, it's at Sundee Coffee Club _. And if you search, to be fair, but the TikTok's been taking off. We've had a couple of like semi-viral ones.
Yeah. I haven't got TikTok, so I'm not aware, but you've showed me. It's got a couple of thousand, haven't it? Is that all right?
But they went on there the other day, because I've just posted a few and I haven't really thought anything of it, because I think I've got my TikTok notifications switched off. But I switched my profile to the Sundee Coffee Club one, and like fucking all these thousands of likes and follows and messages coming up. I was like, what the fuck is that about? Yeah, they had like, you know, considering we had about 12 followers, this one of them had 80,000 views or something. So I think we're up now, yeah, past 1,000 followers. So we're basically influencers, I think. But
yeah, so I might stop cleaning up toilet roll in the toilet and work and quit my job and then just talk shit for the rest of the year. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? I don't understand how it's done well, but I appreciate it. Thank you.
It wasn't even it was just us talking about the word butt, wasn't it? But some people were into it for some reason. It resonated with some very sad Welsh people, which is probably a majority of our audience. So sorry for calling you sad. Thanks for listening. And yeah, if you haven't liked, subscribed, left a review, please do so, unless you got something bad to say, in which case keep your opinion to yourself. And yeah, Instagram is where we keep everything updated. So if you want to get involved in the next Sunday stroll, head over there to find out where and when we're doing it. And other than that, we'll see you in part 2.
Yeah, thank you very much. Diolch.
Diolch yn fawr, hwyl fawr. Anything to say, Saus? Right on.